What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to Make Your Own Luck Mondays. And again, this was a web series that I've been doing on my Instagram page for quite some time. And if you want to go check out some of my previous videos, please do that. My link to my Instagram page is below in the comments section. But I brought it over here to YouTube, and we've been doing a weekly series where I try to do a quick 5-minute video on something around personal finance, wealth creation, just ways to try to be better about money and talk about money and not make it such a weird taboo topic. And then the other big one for me is clearly trying to do it in a matter that is just simple. I see so many videos out here, people just trying to explain these things, and I hate how it's done. I hate how the gurus do it. So I'm just out here trying to do it like a regular dude. I'm not a finance professional, advisor, anything like that. I'm just a dude that kind of switched his mindset around a little bit about how I think about money, how I attract money, how I save money, and how I invest money. And when I did that and saw the changes, it's changed my life just drastically. So I figured, hey, if I can do it, anybody can, and I want to share that with you guys as well. So as you saw in the title, today it's about saving 20% of your income. And how are you going to do that? I think if you did the quick math, you're like, really, 20%? How am I supposed to do that? And there's a basic rule. There's basically one that says, you know, for wants and needs and different things like that, and savings, it's a 60-30-10 rule. So you're 100% of your income, 60% of it is for all of your needs, 30% is for your wants, and 10% is for saving. I try to look at it a little different. I look at it from a 50-30-20 rule, where basically you say 50% of your income should be your housing costs. And then the other 30% should be, you know, the other bills that you have, or, you know, the wants section. So you can look at it that way, car payments and different things like that. And then 20% is for saving and investing. So it's a little bit more of an amount, but over time it grows fast and obviously will compound the quicker you can get, you know, your cash level up to a good number. But that being said, I wanted to give you kind of an example of what that would look like. So, you know, let's say you made $3,000 a month, and, you know, I think that's, what is that, like 15 or 18 bucks an hour for, you know, a 40-hour-a-week job. So from there, you know, 50% of that is $1,500. So, you know, you got your rent. Your rent's $1,500, or your mortgage is $1,500. So you're good. You're cleared there. You know, great job. And then you look at, you know, the 30% section, which would be your bills. So this is, you know, car payments and food and all the stuff that you basically need, you know, month in and month out to run the ship per se. And then 20% for, you know, saving and investing. And in my previous videos, I've talked about clearly the importance of being debt-free. If you have any debts, school loans, credit cards, anything like that, you shouldn't be investing at all. You got to start with paying that down. That is going to be the best return on your money for sure. So get rid of all your debt first and foremost, and then an emergency fund. So 3 to 6 months of what your expenses are. So, you know, if you're $3,000 a month and that's what your expenses are, let's make sure that you got, you know, close to 10 grand in the bank as an emergency fund that you never touch ever, and that just goes into, you know, the rainy day fund, where if you really need to dip into it, you can. In times like this, I think some people have had to do that. So super important, the emergency fund and the debt deal. I always harp on that. But when you're talking about investing into that 20%, you know, that's $600 a month if you're making $3,000. So $600 a month you could be putting away, and, you know, whether that be in whatever investments you see the best for you. So that could be, you know, looking at, you know, simple index funds, low cost index funds. It could be individual stocks. You know, we've seen before that there's a lot of opportunity right now with commission-free trading and different things like that. But how do you do this? So I think a lot of times what people do is they look at it the wrong way. Basically, the check comes in for $3,000, or, you know, bi-weekly, however you get paid. But the bills come in monthly, and everything's already set up. All right, I got to pay X amount to the credit card. I got to pay X amount for the car payment. I got to pay X amount for the rent or the mortgage, and all that. And what happens is all your money's gone, and you don't have anything left to save. So what you can do, and a good way to do this, is to automate your savings, just like your taxes are done. You know, when you get your paycheck, you don't even remember what the gross amount is. You only look at the net amount, what you actually get paid. And if you automate your savings, you can do the same deal. So you can do this through, you know, a slew of different ways, whether it be your normal bank account, your savings account, whether you do an Acorns account or something like that. But you can automate these savings, and it's basically like you never had it. You know, you just goes in 20%. The great line is from Robert Kiyosaki, who says, you know, the rich pay themselves first. So your $3,000 comes in, $600 goes away into your savings or into your investments, and you never look at it again. You know, now it's, all right, where do we go from there? I've already paid myself. Now what's next? All right, so we got, you know, the rent's due, and that has to be done, or the mortgage. These are things that you have to pay. But then you can start to look at, you know, how do you get that number down a bit? So you can maybe save a little bit more, or maybe you can spend a little bit more on the things you want to do. Maybe $1,500 is too much, and you need to find a different, you know, place to live, or something, you know, a little bit more within your means. Or, you know, maybe that brand new car you drive, you know, isn't worth the $300, $400, $500 a month car payment that you have. Maybe you want to try to save up and buy a used car, and now you're able to reduce the amount of spend you have, and you're able to save a little bit more. So there's always different ways to look at it, but you know, it could be a situation where, you know, you're just overspending. It's, you know, typically that's the situation. It's a spending problem, not a saving problem. So, you know, for some people out here, you might be saying, hey, $3,000 a month, that's insane, that's a ton of money. But there's also people out there that are like, $3,000 a month, I could never live on that. But you know, it's all about how you save, how you spend. And you want to do that you want to do both things with intention, for sure. So plan A, make sure you get your emergency fund dialed in. No debt whatsoever. Pay yourself first. So 20% of whatever you make a month should go into savings, investments, however you want to do that. But it's got to go away. And then from there, you can figure out how your bills line up and where the rest needs to be spent. But that's basically how you can save 20% of your income, and hopefully that helps out. And again, all of this stuff will help in the long run, because, you know, the bigger savings you have, the more investments you have, the better your debt to income ratio is, and the better that is, the better your credit score is going to be. It all kind of snowballs. And again, if you're investing that money and you're doing it smart and, you know, not super risky, you can then compound that money over time, and it can grow, which is exactly what we want to do. You don't want to be 40, 50, 60 years old and dead broke. So the whole plan is to start saving, and start saving when you're young. The younger you can do it, the better. And hopefully this video helps. Hopefully you can save 20% of your income, whatever that income is, and try to grow this nest egg the best you can. So that's all we have for this week. We will see you guys next week on Make Your Own Luck Mondays. Thanks.